Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Rachel Burridge.
And me, Simon Burridge.
Let me just put this, I'm just checking my email quickly before we start.
We're recording already. Oh, hello everyone.
Right. Well, you for start.
Come on, we're going to start a what?
Yes.
Sick of her already. Is she in?
You haven't even started, have you?
I use this. I use this as the details. This is a soft intro. This is what's called a soft intro.
Or not a hard intro.
Not a intro. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm Simon and this is my wife Rachel. Do you want me to introduce it or do you want to introduce it?
You can introduce it.
And we're Cherrywood Productions and we are going to start a podcast. I've double-sided that sign up there so at any time it could fall down, which would be a right laugh. Just show how professional it really is in here. So we're at Cherrywood Studios in Strood. And we've decided to do a podcast, haven't we? And it was your idea, but I don't want anyone to know it was your idea. But it was your idea to do. So what you do is you come up with the ideas, and then Muggins here has to implement it all.
If it goes well, it's my idea. If it doesn't go well, it's your idea.
No, so what we decided to do was sorry, you don't even know who we are. So we're photographers and videographers. I film, Rachel does photography. We've been doing it for a while. We'll talk about that in depth at some point. So what we're going to do is we're going to get companies in, different people in from different companies, and we're going to interview them. This is going to be a podcast, which is also filmed, so it'll be on YouTube, and it will also be on things like Spotify and stuff like that. And we're going to get these guys in, speak to them, find out about their business, find out about them, because this is what I keep saying to Rachel. If you get a builder in your house or someone like that, and they're going to do building work for them, you see all the pretty photos, you see all the videos of how good they are before and after, but you don't know that person. And what really would help me if I knew the person I was inviting into my house or the person I was hiring to do my wedding, or anything like that. If you know them and you get to know them and think, actually, I could get on with that person, you're more than likely to want to book them rather than just someone that you're going to meet on a day. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you.
You
like to talk.
So what we've decided to do is have this podcast. We're going to invite different people. We're going to invite people from the wedding industry. We're going to invite people from local businesses. We're going to chat with them. There's going to be no time frame. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 3 hours. And we can have drinks, have pizza, get drunk, make love.
This isn't that kind of podcast, all right?
Wait there.
Just say wait there.
Yeah, wait there. Coffee's nice. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hopefully get a few famous people in, a few upcoming boxers who are going to be future world champions. These are people that I've already spoken to. I'm not just making this stuff up. And so what this is today is we're going to let you get to know us. So we're going to be coming up with ideas at the same time on what we're going to ask future guests. Isn't that a great idea? My idea. She wanted to plan it all out. Oh, don't plan it out. Just do it. Get on with it. Your turn to talk now. I'm bored.
Wait, so you want me to ask you questions now, or just about you, or no? Because it's up to you. I don't mind.
I'll ask you a question. So you're Rachel Burridge. Did you know that?
I am Rachel Burridge. Yeah,
okay.
Unfortunately.
And you don't have to say your age, but you're quite old, aren't you?
Shut up. Quite old. I am younger than you. That's all everyone needs to know. I am much younger than you.
No, this is just young. No much. Anyway, so let's talk about you, Rachel. Where are you from? You're Chav, aren't you? You're a Chav, I believe.
No, I was born in Chatham, but I actually frequented Rochester. Raynham.
Is that the right word?
Frequented it. You can frequent somewhere. I was born in Chatham. I lived in Gillingham for a little bit, and then we moved to Raynham. And then I met you, unfortunately.
You lucky woman. Sorry, I'm going to jump in and tell everyone about Rachel, about this morning taking our son to school.
No, that's not Halloween.
Yes. You can't get to know you, Rach. Children in need, isn't it? it's around this film. While filming this, it's around children in need time. And Rachel got a message from the school to say, bring him in. This is how she read it. They're going to be doing are they doing a sponsored burpees? Is it burpees?
It's Joe Wicks.
Sponsored burpees, Joe Wicks Day. Please make sure that your children are in spotty clothes. Spotty clothes. Okay, so we didn't have any spotty clothes for Ted, our 7-year-old boy. So Rachel put him in skinny jeans with rips in, a camouflage type shirt, a t-shirt and a camouflage type shirt coat on top. And he looked cool. He looked like he was going out. We bumped into another mum to arrange another day, for them to play. And her kids are in sporting gear. Because when you're doing burpees, you wear sporting gear, wouldn't you? Not spotty gear. So Rachel went back and read the memo, and it's sporting gear. So they're all in football kits and tracksuits. Why our kid looks like he's going out on the piss.
No, right. I read that. I'm a very busy mum. Not only do I have this company, I have other work to do. I have to be a mum. All of this, read an email. I assumed when I was briefly glazing over the email.
Glancing.
Oh, yeah.
Glazing.
I'm making a glaze. As I was glazing over the email.
Arrest my case. Arrest my case.
Glancing at the email, I assumed, because it was Pudsey Day, that it would be spotty, because the bear
has got a spot.
Has got spots. And I assumed that they were doing it for that. And then when I didn't see any children in spotty stuff.
Yeah, this is the same woman.
Oh my God, I didn't realise this was a roast.
This is the same woman that when the Queen died.
No.
When the Queen died, I told her that the rules on chess change, and the Queen has to sit on her colour in chess. I told her because there's now a king, the king has to sit on his colour, and she believed that. I forgot I actually wound her up with that. I just left that one to sort of ferment. Yeah, I left that to. Let that one stew for a bit, and then she went and told her mum. And her mum...
No, just my mum, the whole family.
And her mum went, oh, right. And then she looked at me and went,
oh, no. Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed.
Anyway, so, sorry, what was you saying? I didn't actually bother listening to your answer, so maybe I should start doing that in future when we've got guests here. You said you're in Chatham. Did you say what school you went to?
I don't overtalk people either. Talk over the top of people, that's what I'm trying to say. You guys listen to them.
So you were glazing something earlier, weren't you?
Yeah, my emails.
That's right, yeah.
No, it was about me, wasn't it? You asked me where I was from.
Where you're from, yeah.
Yep.
How did you get on at school? Did you know what you wanted to do while you was at school?
I've always been quite arty and quite artistic.
Debatable, yeah.
You're so horrible. Always been artistic. So I did like my A-levels and GCSEs all in art and photography and stuff like that. And then I went on to do my degree in photography. I had to do a foundation degree first to then progress onto my BA honours degree. So I got that. And then that's actually how we met, wasn't it? We knew each other through friend circles and stuff, but I actually needed help with one part of my degree was a website. And I asked you, please, can you help me? I need some help, because you already had the basic company established, didn't you, for just the video side?
Yeah, so Cherrywood Productions, I started up in 2004. Yeah. 2004. I lived in a road called Cherrywood Drive, which is in Northfleet. Big up at Cherrywood. Big up the old Cherrywood drivers. Anyway, that's where we were, and that's why it's Cherrywood Productions. I just separated from my previous wife, and I was skint, so I needed to start something else up. But we'll talk about that later. But we met around 2007. So Cherrywood Productions was just videography. We met around 2007. You just come out, you were still in uni at the time.
I was coming into my third year, so my fourth year, and just finishing everything up. And that's when you had to do a website. You had to do literally like you had your own business. So I just needed help doing the website.
I don't remember doing a website for you. I remember making you a video of all your art on it.
Yeah, that was part of it. So you were helping me do the website, but helping me structure my website. So put the videos in, put the images in, because I didn't have a clue on that. The artistic side of it, the images and stuff, absolutely. And the writing, obviously, my mum's quite good at that sort of stuff because she proofreads our stuff, doesn't she?
Thank God. Thank God with you and your spotty stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we're both pretty rubbish at that, aren't we? We you know, there's something we're crap at. We're, you know, it's proofreading stuff, isn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah, so after that, it was just more of a, I needed that. And then
it went from me asking you to design a logo for me. So I had an old Cherrywood logo, and I said, can you design one? And you did. You designed one, and it was nice writing and everything with nice leaves and all that going. You remember the leaves? Yeah. And
have you still got that?
Yeah, I do. And I animated those leaves as they were growing. I always change the logo text is always the same. You probably know this because you're married to me. But it's the text is always the same. But when I finish or start a film of some sort, Cherrywood always comes up in a different way each year.
Oh, okay.
And one year these petals all grew around, but we got rid of that. I got rid of the leaves and petals, but the font is exactly the same as when you.
So I actually designed the font. I am actually the person that created the Cherrywood logo as it is now.
And it's a good job I didn't ask for a sporting style one, wasn't it? Whoever spots over it.
All right, let's just drop that now. All right, that's all that's done. What was I going to say to you? So, what was your question before? I can't remember. What was the original question?
Well, so you're a photographer. You do a little bit of videography. Mm-hmm. I'm a videographer. I do a tiny bit of photography.
I got my degree in photography and media art, so I actually did do photography and videography at uni. Didn't really like the editing side of video. I couldn't really get my head around it. So I don't mind filming for you, and you've obviously taught me a lot of the filming process itself as well. But I think I have taught you a little bit about photography, haven't I?
Oh yeah, definitely. See, with me, we might as well just talk about ourselves gradually, you know, to and fro, rather than just one person and another person. But so with me, I've been an engineer since I was 16. So since 1990, I started my apprenticeship.
By the way, I was 3.
Yeah, but high five, you know, high five, because my wife's 13 years younger than me. She's got to stare at an ugly old bloke. I get to stare at a salt. Anyway, what was I saying? So I started my apprenticeship in 1990 as a mechanical engineer, and I'm still do that, funny enough. But that's it's like semi-retirement. You know, I only work 12 days a month doing that, so I'm able to do Cherrywood full time, really. So from that moment, what am I trying to say? So when I was an apprenticeship and doing my apprenticeship, I just finished it, met someone, got married in 2000. And when I got married, we had our wedding filmed, and and I kept thinking of different ideas about the wedding film, and I kept going to the videographer and saying, "Could you do this? Could you do that?" I was really interested in it. We went into their studio. I was really interested in it, and it was from sort of that moment, from the honeymoon, I got my own software, and we got a camera as a wedding present, I think. And I started editing from that moment. I edited the honeymoon up with, you know, music, background music and things like that. So I'm self-taught for 23 years, you know, so I've been doing it for 23 years. And self-taught's good, but if you don't learn it structurally, do you know what I mean? So there's little bits that I didn't feel I didn't need to know, but as you grow, you realise, blimey, I should have known about this and that. And that's where you came in. You filled all the gaps in for me, I'd say. But I probably knew how to operate that camera. 30 to 50% of that camera I knew how to operate. I'd probably have a lot of it in auto or something like that, you know. And as you progress, you learn how to use the camera properly. If I'd just gone to college and learned how to be a photographer, a videographer, I would have learned that stuff properly.
But then
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, it wouldn't have interested you.
I'm one of those people. It's really hard to teach me unless I'm really, really interested in it. You know, I love mechanical engineering. It got to the test. I always struggled at the tests. I'm really good at fault finding, things like that. And but you put me in a test, especially when I was a lot younger. I struggled with that because my brain just wanted to get on and do it. That's the thing. And I think you're a little bit similar. You're not quite. Ted, our son, is going to be like that. He's going to be like that. He only wants to learn what he's interested in. So you stick him in something and do, you know, maths, English more than anything. You're like, oh God, you know, which is not an ADHD thing. Well, it is a little bit. Dyslexia wasn't invented when I was at school, you see, because I'm an old boy. You know, you're either thick or you're thick or stupid or crazy. But
that's not very nice. You have to big yourself up. Say something positive about yourself.
Nonsense.
Now this is going to be really hard.
I got hot wife.
Okay, I'll take that.
So back to you again. So we met in when? 2000 something?
7?
We got together in what, 2009 or 10, something like that.
Yeah.
So we combined Cherrywood Productions into photography and videography.
Good.
And it was still really 100, well, 80%, 90% weddings, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much at the start.
Yeah.
It was more us. It was us developing, really, wasn't it? It was more of us seeing where we could go with this. Because this part of it was a new adventure, right? You'd never been with someone who could work with you like that.
No, my previous girlfriend worked as the assistant. She was good as gold, you know, but not a trained photographer. So that was, and obviously it's better if you've got both disciplines as well, isn't it? So, and
I do find it's quite nice. Like, people will say, what is it like working with your husband?
It's amazing for you, isn't it?
It's not. No, it's fine. It's nice because you get that with other photographers or videographers. They're absolutely fine, but it's that little bit of anxiety of, oh, they won't work how I work, or they might get in the way, or they might. It's always that if part of it.
Yeah.
You know, who am I working with? Are we going to gel? You know, are we going to have the same sort of visual aspect of the day? Like, I've got to do this. Are they aware that I've got to do this?
Yeah.
You know, for example, like speeches and the wedding ceremony for you are the most important bit. There is no way you can stop that and go, sorry, let's do that again, is there? No. So they are the most important bit. So for a photographer, for example, if we were working together, I know that I can't stand in the way of that, because if I get in the way, the whole shot.
Unless I've got multiple cameras, which you know.
Yeah.
So I would always film a ceremony with 2+ cameras. Always film the speeches with 2+ cameras. And I get on with every photographer. I get on with everyone anyway, because I'm just such a nice bloke, Rach. But no, but I do. I get on with people.
We do get on with people.
And we work with photographers as well, and we end up being friends with everyone.
Well, it is nice when we work with each other.
Of course, because it's that we don't even have to say anything to each other. No. We know where each other's going to be. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
We can be in the middle of a ceremony, look over at each other, and maybe do one sign language, and then that's it. It's like, yeah. Or just look to the left and go.
And if you look to say, get out of it. Mate.
Oh, God.
And you're like. Yeah. It was just quite funny. And we tag team as well, don't we? We sort of do a little bit of a comedy duo, which we find is really good for the bride and groom. It calms them down a bit, doesn't it? If I slag you off, you slag me off type thing.
You're constantly slagging me off.
Yeah, well, you deserve it.
So it's always not nerve-wracking, but there is a little tiny bit of anxiety of who I'm working with. You know, are they going to be able to gel with us? You know, are we going to have any problems, or, you know, anything like that? But I would say in all the years that we've done this, we've never had problems with people. But obviously it is more relaxing when you're working with your husband, because you can say, I've got to do this. Can you go and get me this? Can you go and do this? Or is there any chance that in this shot we can do it this way? You know, we can do this, we can do that. And we bounce ideas off each other as well, which is quite nice. So,
but you know what it's like. We get on with everyone, but there are photographers or videographers that are nervous to work with people that they don't know. So it sometimes takes an hour or so for them to think, actually, these two are all right, and they're happy to work with us. You know, the stories I've heard about videographers and photographers not getting on, and the stuff you see online, and now it's sad, really. What are they trying to top each other for, or ruin each other's shot? It's just sad. But I've personally not experienced it. You know, you get a dominant photographer sometimes.
But I think they have to be sometimes. I think for a photographer, and no offense to all the videographers out there, but a lot of the time it's you guys following us around because we are the ones with the list having to do the certain shots that the bride and groom want. And you guys are literally just saying, okay, we'll set up here, we'll do what you do.
In certain areas, yeah, like when you're doing the setup shots after the ceremony, but sometimes on the ceremony, photographer needs just a few shots of the ceremony where we need the whole ceremony.
That's where that's our parts where they're different, right? That's where like I said earlier, that's the most important part for you. The ceremony and the speeches, you can't stop and chop and change and everything like that.
Yeah.
Whereas for a photographer, those two bits are probably not, this is going to sound really bad, but not least important. But for us, we can move around. We can get, because there's only so many shots you can get of the rings getting put on. Whereas you guys need all of the speech to go with it, all of the action of the rings going on. You can't stop and say, oh no, we can't have that. We can't. If you're doing a full day coverage, they need the whole ceremony.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas we can move around and say, I want the rings from this shot. I want the rings from this shot. I'm going to go over here to get the first kiss. And whereas you guys can't do that. You need to stay in one, not in one place, but you need to be static to get all of the whole ceremony, all of the speeches, that sort of thing as well.
Yes, definitely.
Whereas the group shots, which is my part, which is where I have to...
It's easy for me.
Get all that, so that part of it is easy for you.
You set them up, I film different angles of them laughing for the photos.
So that's where, obviously, we differ in that sort of sense of it. But
another thing to bear in mind is it's all, like I've always said to you, the day I'm not nervous about filming a wedding is the day I'll jack it in because
absolutely.
I don't want to mess anyone. It's like the best day of their life. The last thing I want to do is mess up someone's best day of their life. And if you're complacent and think, oh, we've got this, you've got to have a little bit of nerves about you. Like
every morning, every time that we have a wedding, or every morning I'm getting ready thinking, okay, don't be nervous, be confident. But like you said, there's always got to be that little bit. Otherwise you're just going to, like I said, get complacent and you won't do a good job.
Nah. And there's little things. It's not even filming the day. It's just getting there. Just getting there. So we're always at least 2 hours before. When we pack the car, this is going to sound weird, but it makes sense. When we pack the car, we put some cameras in the boot. We put some cameras on the middle seat. So if we get rear-ended, we still can get to their wedding and film their wedding. Film their wedding. Unless obviously we're dead. It might be a bit harder.
A little bit harsh. Let's brighten that shit up.
So what was I going to say? But another thing is people think you're worried about the shot. Do you know what I'm worried about more than anything? The camera failing. That's what failures is what you've got to worry about. And you could get a videographer in and train someone. I'm going to train someone next year to help with us. And he's lovely. He's helped us on comedies that we've done and things like that. We've got a comedy, by the way, on Amazon Prime.
Plug.
Tab Theory, Amazon Prime is a comedy pilot. It's been there for 2 years now. We did it in lockdown because we had no weddings. Have a look. It's quite funny.
But we'll give you the link below.
Oh, don't say that. Now I've got to edit it and add a link below. Oh. Anyway, we'll talk about that in future because I'm going to get a few actors that are in that. And we've got another comedy that I didn't write, but I directed and shot called Dusty, which is out very soon. We can get him in as well. Yeah, we get the writer in. What's his name? Robert Rivet. Obviously, I know Robert Rivet, and he's got a podcast at all called. What's his podcast called? It's a podcast about something versus something. Yeah. So one comedian versus another comedian. One comedy versus another comedy, and he does knockout stages. It's called The Elimination. Have a look. Elimination. I think it's pink background of writing on
blue,
it.
Isn't it?
Something like that. But check him out. He's very good. Very good guy. What was I even going on about? So I always film. This is going to sound weird. If I'm doing a ceremony or speeches, I'll have my camera. Even if they've asked for one camera package, I'll have my camera and I have a GoPro filming exactly the same thing. So if this camera fails, the GoPro's at least still got the ceremony. Because that's how you do it. Because
you can have all the knowledge under the sun. You could be so clued up about how the camera works, how everything else works, but all it takes is one technical difficulty, done.
And that's where I was going. The guy that I've got coming in, who are we going to train up and get to do weddings, I want to teach them fault finding as well on the camera, because you can't say, can you do it again? Can you do the rings again? You know, you just got to.
It's I don't know if this is the right thing. It's human error, right? It's where technology sometimes fails. You have to think quick.
Yeah.
Think, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And so you need to have that part of your brain to think, I need to get this done. I need to do this. So all this sort of training is absolutely fine in the technology side of it. So you know how to work a camera, how to change the aperture, how to do all of this. But if you're not very good at thinking quickly on your feet,
on a failure,
if you're not good at that,
because what happened this year for me, didn't it? I had a battery fail on me. Cameras are all fine. Battery was showing 80%. Decides that 80%, and then it's going to go to nothing. Failed on me. I had to try and recover that file because it was the best angle. I had other angles, which I would have got away with it, but I want to give them the best. So I managed to eventually recover that file, but it had no sound. But that doesn't matter because we link mics to them anyway, so it didn't matter. Got away with it. But it's little things like that you don't expect, do you? You don't expect them. And my biggest worry is sending someone away to film for us and them not being able to deal with an issue. I'm completely confident I'm deal with shooting a wedding. It's them getting an issue while filming, and that's where you need to be trained, and that's what you need to be clued up on. And that's why if you get someone that's really offering a cheap package, that's the risk you're taking. Yeah, that is the risk you're taking if you pay peanuts for these packages. I'm making sense. Do you remember when we got invited? Because every time we get invited to weddings, we got invited to an actor friend's wedding, and we wasn't filming it, was we? And he's like, "Oh, I just happen to have a couple of cameras here," and he'd gone for that package, which I think's been on Lions Den, where they send you 2 cameras.
Dragon's Den.
It's not Lions Den, is Millwall football ground. Yeah, Dragon's Den. He went for that package where they just send you the cameras. He got sent 2 cameras with the battery and the chargers, tiny little cameras, but they were fine. And we grabbed them and started working with them. But remember, one of them had a faulty memory card.
Yeah.
So it called a couple of seconds and the memory card would just... It's gone off.
The camera?
Yeah. We're talking about batteries and the camera's gone off. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me just change this. We'll keep the mics going. Right, what's going on? Right, we're back. Hang about. Has it got the same settings as before? It doesn't matter. Well, talking about batteries going and stuff, and
you're not in focus.
Oh yeah. Talking about batteries going, and the battery went.
Is that why?
Yes. But it doesn't matter here because I'm not filming a wedding, so it doesn't matter. So what was we even talking about?
Jamie.
So was at Jamie's wedding. Sorry, no, we was at an actor's wedding. I don't think he cares. His name's Jamie.
Just say Jamie. Just say Jamie.
Okay, the actor's called Jamie Bannerman. No.
Just say Jamie.
And he's a good guy. And he was in our comedy. Anyway, we got invited to his wedding, didn't we? 2 cameras there, which, we've been all through this. Anyway, so when we used those cameras, the memory card was wrong.
Yeah,
We'd film a couple of seconds and it would cut off.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, because I wasn't even well that day, was I? Very well. And every time I looked down, I'd push record, look down, and it'd stop recording. I was like, did I push record or did I push the button twice or something like that, wasn't it?
Taking the Ricky out.
Not rubbish.
Real good video.
I got a really good video. But it turns out it was the memory card gone wrong. So, there's a reason why those sort of things are cheap. That's where I'm going with it.
Right. We're coming background to this part.
Oh my God. Okay, we had to deal with a camera going off, didn't we? So there's a reason why.
This is how we deal with it.
There's a reason why, there's a reason why some packages are cheap.
Oh, right, sorry.
Because it's a risk. You're not even going to get your day filmed. But we filmed it with the other camera, and I must admit, I sent it back. It came back very nice. Yeah, it came back very nice. Well, the short one did. I haven't seen the long version. But yeah, so that's good. That's good. What else would you like to talk about? Things that we do that aren't wedding related. So we do company promotional videos.
Yep, we do.
We do some headshots.
We've got this place, haven't we? So we've got, obviously we do actually have the studio here that we bring people up in, and we do baby shoots, we do portraits, we do family shots. I can't say this word, boudoir
shots. So I get into stockings and that, and you take photos of me, don't you? Oh, we do cake smashes.
Smashes, yeah.
And you're going to do a cake smash for me on my 50th, aren't you?
You don't have to be naked though. Just have what I'm thinking is studio set up. Yes, you can have a cake. By all means, have a cake. Have a beer. Have a glass of champagne. And then you can eat the cake. I think the whole thing will be really funny.
Can't I do it naked? Or a nappy, like an adult nappy?
I didn't sign up for that. That could be your birthday invitation. If we do it now, that can be your birthday invitations going out.
That'd be a laugh. That'd be a laugh.
And then we can have that blown up as opposed to...
So yeah, we've got this little studio. Basically, we got this studio which we don't use that much, but it's ideal for when we would need headshots and that, because a lot of companies like you to go to their place and shoot it. We do weddings. What would you say wedding percentage was now? It used to be 80% weddings. It used to be. I'm saying weddings probably about 40% now. 40, 50%. We still do a lot. We do 25, 30 weddings a year.
It depends really, because for you it is. I mean, for me...
Oh, of course, yeah. You're nearly 100% weddings, aren't you?
I would still say, I still use the studio a lot for the shots, like the group shots and the family shots and the baby shots and stuff like that. But for you do a lot of corporate work.
Yeah.
And but then again, I do the voiceover for you, don't you? So...
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't really say, I couldn't really put a figure on the whole percentage thing, because again, it's different. But
and we've used this to film a scene in a comedy, hasn't we? In the last comedy.
The Dusty comedy that we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
And we do a little bit of acting in these things every now and then as well, which is quite funny.
Because Simon does think himself as a budding actor.
I'm not budding, Rachel. I'm established.
Oh yeah, so you're on IMDb. IMDb.
Yeah. So. Put who is Simon Burridge on Amazon, ask Amazon, and they would say Simon Burridge is the director of the Tab Theory. Did you know that?
What if I asked Siri and it would come up
ask Amazon.
Amazon.
Do it. Not Amazon. What's his? Yeah, Siri. Sorry, yeah, not Siri. Who's Amazon's one? Not Cortana, Sultana.
Alexa.
Alexa. If you ask Alexa, I don't think I can get Alexa to work on it. Let me see what I can do. Last time I tried to.
So while he's doing that, yes, we do a lot.
To Alexa with the app. Give Alexa permission to access your microphone. Okay. You have permission. How do I give it permission?
Right, if you're quiet, I'll then tell whoever's listening or whoever's watching what else we do.
Okay, give him. You do that.
So, like Simon was saying, we don't just do weddings. We do a lot of weddings, don't get me wrong, but it is more corporate based as well now. So we are getting a lot more companies come in and ask for headshots or corporate videos or promotional videos. We did one for a company recently, and it was more of a building company, wasn't it? That you had to go up in a crane, and it was the development of it and how they structured their work and everything like that. And that was really good to shoot. But what I like about it is everything is different. There's not one day that you would say is the same. There's not one project that you think, I've done this, I'm bored of this. There's nothing like that, is it?
No.
Even the weddings, going back to the weddings, every wedding is different.
Every wedding is different, but if I was to do 100% weddings, it would drive me crazy, personally. It would drive me nuts. And they're exhausting. Weddings are exhausting.
They are exhausting because it isn't just...
It's not over.
It isn't just the day. A lot of people that we meet say, oh, it's just the day.
Price.
For that day, yeah.
No,
but
it's not.
It's not just the day.
It's at least a week's work for that price.
But it's the meeting beforehand. It's getting ready. It's doing all the lists and all the prep work beforehand. The day before, we're charging batteries, we're sorting stuff. We've got all the equipment out saying, right, I need this, I need this.
Yeah.
What about if it rains? We have to have a backup, lighting, equipment, everything like that. So that day, then it's the actual day of filming.
Yeah.
We have to obviously ship the kids out to have a babysitter. We then have to turn up. If it's full day coverage, we're there normally from about 10 o'clock onwards, all the way through to 8 o'clock. We don't really stop during that day. I think we have about an hour, maybe an hour and a half when everyone's sitting down having their wedding breakfast and we actually get to sit down. But apart from that, we are on the go the whole time. Then we have to go home, get the kids or, go and pick the kids up. And then it's the transferring of the files. We could be up until 11 o'clock at night doing that. And it's the next day, making sure the files are named properly, putting them all in the right categories and the right places. And then it's the 2, 3, 4 weeks after editing.
Yeah.
And then for me, when the bride and groom actually give their album choices back to me, it's the editing of the albums and stuff like that as well. So it is a lengthy process. And I think we've actually worked out before, haven't we?
Yeah.
That for the money that we get between
Minimum
us,
wage.
it's actually below minimum wage.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, you get a DJ, and that you pay a DJ, and they get the dance floor up, they do the sounds, play them, and it's over. With us, you're paying for us. We're still dealing with you a year later because we're waiting for you to choose the photos for your album and things like that. And what's our record? Is it about 4 years?
Yeah, I think so.
We've got a bride and groom. Hello, it's so and so. Where are you? You filmed our wedding 4 years ago. We've chosen our photos. Like, oh my God. And the cost of the album's gone up about 4 times since then.
But it's nice because then you go back to the album and
Reminisce.
then reminisce over the day and go, oh, yeah, remember this.
Yeah. So, right, Alexa, we were talking about how good I am, weren't we? So,
Oh, yeah.
I think, I thought I got it to work. Hang on a minute. All right, Alexa. Who is Simon Burridge? Don't think I've got it working. I'm going to type who is.
I can always put this in if you want. I
Simon.
can pretend to be Alexa. Simon Burridge.
No. Here we go. This is the moment of truth. Who is Simon Burridge? Let's go. It said nothing.
Simon Burridge is...
Simon Burridge. I don't think it's working properly. We're going to have to ask our globy thing or round thing. Do it at home. Say, Alexa, who is Simon Burridge? Alexa, let me try that. Alexa. Oh, I have to give
Are
up.
you giving them homework now?
Yeah. Say, who is Simon Burridge? And it'll go, Simon Burridge is the director of the Tab Theory. He has an ugly wife and 25 children.
Simon Burridge is the black-headed Chinese-looking guy.
You can't be worried like that. You've upset Caucasian people. Well, you've upset me, yeah.
I'm sorry, what is your nickname?
Slitty. Yeah. So I think
We were talking about other things that we were doing apart from weddings.
promotional videos, music videos. I'd like to do more music videos, actually. I keep saying I do music videos, but it's more band promotional stuff because I play bass guitar as well, Rach. I don't know if you know. So I've been in a few bands.
Wait. I think we need to rename this podcast the Simon Burridge Podcast.
That's a really good idea. Can we change those letters enough? Yeah.
Well,
On a low budget. See you. And stop it there. Anyway, do you think that's enough of us? Or do you want to talk a bit more about us? We're married. We've got 2 children together, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
I have quite a few children in total. But we have 2 together, don't we? So that's nice.
I think they're quite creative.
And my eldest son is, 7 years younger than you? Oh, it's like EastEnders. Speaking of EastEnders, we work a lot with Ricky Groves, and he played Gary Hobbs in EastEnders, didn't
Right, let me non-cockney that up for you. He played Gary Hobbs in EastEnders.
No, Gary Hobbs.
Gary Hobbs.
Gary Hobbs in it. See you down the Vic. So we're going to have a chat with him because I work with him quite a bit on promotional stuff. He was also in the comedy, which is on...
He
was also in my comedy. He played a little role. I've got an itch. I'm going to mess the mic up. There we go. So he also played in the Tab Theory, a little role for me, and we've been friends ever since. And we do promotional videos together, and I'm going to see if I can get him in here to have a chat with him because I think it'd be quite nice. But I think that's enough What do you think? Do you think that's enough? Have you learned from this process? I think we can spitball a little better than we thought we could.
I thought you were going to then lead into, have I taught you well, young Jedi, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, oh God, that you know I've taught you well. We've won the wedding awards twice. We was at the wedding award. This is the Kent Wedding Awards, which we didn't even know about, did we, until 2004 when we met our friend
Raph.
We met our friend Raph. Now everyone knows Raph. If you're getting married, there's a DJ and it's Apollo Funk Entertainments. We're going to definitely have him here. I suppose we have to have his wife here as well, but she gives it some of this too much.
Lovely.
She doesn't shut up. Bit like me, really. And her name's Rachel as well. And I met them. We met them at a wedding fair. I met them at a wedding fair where she hated me from the beginning because I needed to use power for my TV, and that was enough. That was enough to be offensive to her.
I'm sure she'll tell this story when she comes through, and she'll turn it around to her side.
Anyway, he then approached me after meeting him at a wedding fair about, can you do me a video for the Kent Wedding Awards? I said, what's the Kent Wedding Awards? He said, how long have you been doing weddings? And I said, 10 years. Didn't I? 10 years I'd been doing weddings. I said, I don't know about this award thing because I just kept myself to myself. Did my weddings, came back, didn't really advertise too much. It was always word of mouth, which was always good enough. Enough weddings for what I needed to do. And it was 2014. I did my video, didn't I? And then we actually entered it, last minute entered it, got into the final. No, we entered it and got into the final.
It was 2012 because we literally got married in 2012 and then we met him in September. We did.
Yeah, but we didn't enter the awards till 2014. That was the first one we entered, 2014. 100%. 100%. I look at that logo all the time. So let's have this row somewhere else, Rachel. But so we entered the Kent Wedding Awards in 2014. And it was a rough entry, wasn't it? Because it was last minute, and we were doing a video for him for his DJ company. And then the next year we entered it a little bit better and won it, didn't we? Which we were really shocked by. Yeah, they look the same anyway, and no one can read the writing. So yeah, and then we won the year after, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we haven't won ever since. Haven't won ever since. We was at a wedding awards yesterday, and we thought we might be in with a chance this year because we added something new, didn't we? We added Wedflix, so you can go online to our website, which is cherrywoodpro.com or cherrywoodproductions.co.uk, as it says there. They both go to the same place. And there's a Wedflix, and it looks like Netflix. Or should I even say that name? I don't know. Sue me.
You can not beep that out.
I'll just use
it.
I'll just use it. I apologise if I'm not allowed to, but I'm sure I am. It looks very similar to that famous app. And but you can choose your wedding. You can choose your wedding, your photos, your karaoke, which I'll go into another time. It's like karaoke, but it's wedding thing. You can choose everything from there, and everyone knows how to use it because it looks like a certain media app.
Streaming service.
So streaming service, that's the word I'm looking for. It's like a streaming service. And gone are the days now really of DVDs. You know, DVDs aren't in HD anyway, so we would still give you a DVD, but we would try and talk you into having a downloadable type video because it's high definition. So where am I going with this?
I don't know.
Totally forgotten where I'm
I
going.
thought this was your wedding.
Is that Raph and Rach, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what was we saying about Raph and
Oh,
Rach?
no, we were talking about these last night.
Oh, yeah, we was at the wedding awards. So, yeah, so that's what we're saying. And so
Sorry, we do go off.
We were beating Apollo Funk. After 2 years of winning in a row, we was beating Apollo Funk 2-1. They won one award, we won 2 awards. Now, roll on 7 years. They're 6-2 up. 6-2 up. They won again last night. And the abuse we get from... Actually, I must admit, Raph he looks like Danny DeVito. You'll meet him. He's so funny. He's always more disappointed than we are. To be honest, we're happy. We take it or leave it, don't we?
It's more of a healthy competition.
Yeah.
We enter it to see if we are...
if we're up there with them. Yeah.
Good enough, right?
So last year, when you get quite a few entries or quite a few finalists, they give you a sort of second place, which is a highly recommended.
Yeah.
We got highly recommended. So we know we're second. You know, we're up there. We're up there with the winners.
We're up there with the big boys.
But this year we're like because we always film it at the table, don't we? When we're going to get, oh, here it comes, here it comes.
We can feel what we like.
And we're like, right, okay, they're going to mention the highly recommended first. There wasn't enough finalists this year. There was no highly recommended.
Assuming that.
It's got to be over a certain amount. But and it went, and the winner is, and then it mentioned the winners, which is Modulus, isn't it? Modulus. Good luck to them. I don't know them very well. They won it last year as well, so they're really good.
If they want to come in and do
is there a podcast for them? Yeah, no problem at all.
We can get some ideas.
Yeah, we're just there bringing it from the
yeah, is that weird?
Yeah, what else do you do? What sort of entry do you do in the wedding world? Anyway, sorry. Good as gold. I said hello to him in the toilet with one of the blokes, but that's about it. I've got no footage of that. What was I saying? Anyway, so no quicker was it, and we were preparing ourselves, and somehow we wasn't. It just happened, didn't it?
There was no risk.
And the winner is Modulus. There's no doubt was that. And the winner is and we've been there all night thinking, oh right, it's our turn. And it had come and gone like that, hadn't it? And we missed the whole thing. It was like, oh, is that our categoryographer? All right, okay then. And take my bow tie off from the. No, it was funny. And the guys at the Kent Wedding Awards, Chris Milton and Karen, and the whole team there are always lovely. We love them to bits, and they've become friends over the last 10 years. Obviously not friends enough to let us win it, which just goes to show how fair it is. So they get a lot of judges in, don't they? And I don't think they're involved in the judging. They might be involved in a little bit of the judging, but it's always a good night, and we treat it as our Christmas do, don't we? Yeah. So it was good. We enjoyed it.
Nice. It's nice to network. It's nice to see new faces, because a lot of the people there last night, it was their first time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were newbies.
Yeah.
And we rock up 10 years later and we're like, right, you newbies, sit down. Yeah. This is what we're going to have.
This is our first. You know what I was sitting next to? She was like, this is our first year. I was, oh, right, we're in our 10th year. Oh, blimey, you're on your 10th year. Have you won it? Yeah, we've won it a couple of times, giving it all that. And then she asked me a question. I had no idea the answer, which was that end thing, that couple's choice. She said, what's the couple's choice? And I'm like, after 10 years, I should know what this couple's choice is. But it's couples writing in to say who their best supplier is. And it's a supplier across the whole board. It's usually a venue that wins it, because the venues look after couples more than anything. I think the Barn won it, didn't it? The Barn won it last night. But I suppose we're in it. But who's going to ring out and go, we really thought our videographer and photographer was good. It would go, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But I couldn't work out what this couple's choice was. And I said something to her like, oh, right, they've selected a couple that have just got married, and then they asked them who their favourite supplier is. And she starts laughing. I said, you know I'm making this up then? She goes, yeah. I said, you'd have thought after 10 years that I would know, wouldn't you? And then she stopped asking me questions because she realised how stupid I was.
So, obviously, we've discussed us, who we are, what we do-ish.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go from here? What are we going to do for the future?
What, are we going to separate, or?
No, as in the company, not us. But that is on the cards, though, maybe.
What? Our company, what we're doing it all for the podcast. So the podcast, we're going to, like I said, get people in. If you want to be involved, if you've got a business, you want to be involved, you don't even have to have a business. If you've got what you think is a good story about yourself, a life that you feel that should be heard, a life that you feel should be heard. That's good. Don't you think that's good? No? Okay. So, yeah, if you've got something coming up, if you've got a charity.
No, we didn't discuss this shit, did we? We're keeping it to businesses. We're not having randoms coming and go, right, I'm having a shit next week. We can't do that. We are keeping it to businesses.
Businesses and charities.
No, just
see what she's like. She's really against charity.
I'm the charity expert. I've got to go.
How are you the charity?
Shitty mountain next year.
I've got to climb a shitty mountain.
You're not using this stuff.
I am.
No, you're not.
It's just rolling.
This
is just constantly rolling.
Yeah, but you're not using this stuff. You can't sit there and say, anyone come down and be on our podcast. It's not going to work. We've already discussed this. It's companies, businesses, charities. Companies, business, charities.
I said charity. You just said no.
No. All that. If you've got a funny story that you want to tell, no, I'm not having people just randomly rock up. Oh, I took a shit in the park last week. Can I tell it on your podcast?
That is a funny story.
Taking a shit in the park is not a funny story.
This is staying on, by the way. It's comedy gold, Rachel. It's comedy gold. They're getting to know us.
This is me having a go at you.
They're getting to know us. Just so you know, we wouldn't be swearing and all that on your wedding day. We adapt to different characteristics, Characteristics, yeah. We know when we can perform and when we can't perform. But that sounds... we know our environment.
You're just digging up.
We know our environment. We know our audience. We know our audience. So, obviously, if you like a laugh, we'll have a laugh with you. If you want to be nice and formal, we'll be formal with you. Same with our guests.
We get to know the couple. We get to know the couple.
Yeah.
So, if they feel, they can have a laugh with us, then we'll reflect that back with.
Can we just get on with ending this podcast now? Because I've already had enough of working with you on this project. And this is the very first go. And we are using nearly all of this. Apart from the bit where you slag people off. No, I'm joking. So if you've got a business, once again, and you would like to come in and have an informal chat about your business, about your life, maybe you've got a funny story, maybe you took a dump in a park.
No.
Then please contact us on info at cherrywoodpro.com. cherrywoodpro.co.uk. So info. So we go again. We're gonna get better. We will get better at this. Info at cherrypro.co.uk, or go on Instagram, and that will be Cherrywood Pro on Instagram.
Are you asking me a question?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I was pointing. It will be in Cherrywood Pro. Info at cherrypro.co.uk. Our website is cherrywoodproductions.co.uk or cherrywoodpro.com if you like to be American.
Down with the kids.
Down with kids. I think that's it. We do have other things, but do you know what? You're better off going on Instagram, and then we've got a link to everything on there. So if you do that, we've got a link to everything. Instagram, Cherrywood Pro on Instagram. Oh, this is seamless, isn't it?
If you want to come on, just let us know and we can get you in the studio, or we can go somewhere, we can have a drink, we can keep it really nice and casual, and we'll just get to know you and your business.
Why are we going? We're doing it all here. This is how it's going to be. We go for a drink. What, we're going to film it in a pub?
Right, if they can't make it, and you have to do it on
another date. We'll do another date.
And if they're in a different frigging country.
Zoom, last resort. I'm zooming. Last resort.
Right.
Because you only get 45.
Shit out then.
You only get 45 minutes on Zoom.
No, you don't.
You do.
I've had. Oh no, that's MS Teams. MS Teams it then?
I think you have to have, I don't know.
No, I've had 2-hour meetings on MS Teams before.
This is what I have to put up with. See, she may be younger, she may be beautiful, but look at her. Just listen to her. Oh no. Are you writing something in your book?
Definitely divorced husband.
No, I've been there before. I can handle it. I love you, Rachel.
Take all his money.
You might as well tick that bit. You've already done it. Tick that one off.
Get him professional help.
That's probably ongoing. Anyway, are you happy? Did you enjoy our first little chat, even though it's just us two and you're quite boring and I had to do a lot of talking? Did you enjoy it?
You're so horrible. I can't swear.
Look at us with the old camera to make it look like we're trendy, and a couple of little walls there that are getting dust on because we've had them too long.
We need to update them.
What do you want? Just change the date on them?
Just scratch it out.
You can't even see them. Look, you can barely see them on that screen because it's going straight through to the fake bricks.
turned it slightly, because if you turn it slightly, then it does actually.
And we should do some sort of competition. And what number podcast do you think it is before the sign falls off the wall? Because the old double-sided there. Is it? I don't even think that sign's square, is it? I tried to line it up with the bricks.
It's quite sturdy.
It looks pissed. Look at it. It looks pissed.
Maybe it's a shadow. You think?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter, does it? You get the idea. I'm sure we'll get better as it goes on, but I quite enjoyed this, actually.
Good.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So start working with you, Mr. Bird.
Lovely meeting you, and I've received the divorce papers very soon. All right. All of our stuff can be seen online. I've been through all this before. All right. Lovely.
Thank you for watching and listening to our podcast, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I can bye. The